That's my phone, and that means that's not ringing. That's ringing.
Okay, so I got this question right at the tip of my tongue. I'm just gonna wait. Okay, so you was talking about the internet, which I totally agree with you on that
Mm-hmm.
because there's a lot of people now that does it on their own, and it's like makes it harder for the people who actually went to school for it and
Yeah.
actually put the studies and the time in to make it into the make their break because it's so free and easy now.
Yep.
So, do you feel like Swank PR is can take advantage of the open access to the internet, or does
Mm-hmm.
it hinder your company?
No, it helps. It definitely helps. It helps in more ways than one because one, we're able to promote our services, our brand, and what we're doing, but it also gives us a quick way to push our clients as well. So the only thing I would say that has happened is that now you have a certain group of people that are running these major outlets that weren't there before, where you got majority of the writers that are working at Double XL, Source, or any, not even, I ain't gonna say the Source, but a lot of these writers are white boys. They are. Before, it wasn't like that. It was exactly what you said. It was journalists, people who went to school for it. Not saying they didn't go to school for it, but now what's happened is you've opened up a whole can of one information, but now you can't even tell if the information is valid or not because you got certain people saying this is cool and this is cool. But who's to determine what's cool and what's not? Because hip hop it's a black culture, simple as that. But if you got other people running the culture, then I got people at these major sites or these major outlets running it, and they're telling me that this is cool. Then now you're getting into, okay, who controls the information? Who controls what goes out? Because now that's what's happening. So if I can decide between a Fetty Wap and a Kendrick Lamar if I want to. So whoever decided to co-sign a person like Fetty Wap, that's a gatekeeper because they were able to say, this is the hot artist that you need to pay attention to. So, but that could have eliminated all these other talented underdogs. So the internet created a platform where everybody gets a fair choice. And that's the good thing about the internet. The bad thing about it is everybody is on the internet now as well. But it also gives everybody an even platform. Others are favored over other ones because of their followings and things like that. But it has become a rat race in a sense. But it's also still total access to information. So even if you got these certain people controlling what goes out and what doesn't go out, you still have a platform. And that's probably the best thing that I can say for anybody that has a business, that's an artist, any of that. The internet has created a platform for them, and the other part is like some of it is fake. And you can't, like, people can put on fronts on the internet and you know what I'm saying? They can say they're legit. That's the other part. You don't know who's real and who's not real part of the internet. So it's a lot of pros and cons about it. But I like the internet. I think that it's probably one of the best inventions in the world. I think once people really started understanding what it was for, it changed. But like, it killed journalism at one point. It really did. It murdered it. And there was, at that point now, you can just look online and look for facts, but who's to say those facts are real? So it's a give and a take, It's great for information, but at the same token, everybody isn't a writer. If everybody doesn't know how to write a lead. Some people don't even know what a lead is, but that's why people like me transitioned into PR.
What advice would you give the younger generation who are, going into the rap game with this mindset of what they see or what they, relate to as far as like violence or what they relate to as far as like being hip hop?
I mean, I would say study everything. Drill is one small category that's new. I would say you have to research who you are trying to be like, number one. Number two, you need to go and listen to other music that doesn't sound like anything like what you're trying to do, because you want to be able to learn. You just need to, anybody that's trying to be a hip hop artist, especially in Chicago, you have to, one, you have to have a good ear for music. That's number one. Number two, you have to know how to write. You have to be able to have good wordplay. You need to know what certain words mean. You need to know all these different things. And I think part of the problem with a lot of new artists is that they use curse words because they don't have a lot of vocabulary. You listen to Tribe Called Quest, their vocabulary was crazy. Like the first time I heard Immaculate was probably a Tribe Called Quest album, or probably Redman or something, whatever. But I heard the word in rap, So if I'm not learning while I'm listening, then right there, that's a problem for me. So I think most artists don't take the time and learn. They feel like, oh, I can just come up with this catchy song and it's going to take off. Another thing I would say is they need to learn the business part, because the biggest problem really with any Chicago artist is that they don't have their business together. They don't have their publishing together. So whether it's bop, drill, house, or whatever it is, they don't have the business part together. So no one really goes far in Chicago because they don't have their business infrastructure right. They don't have publishing. They don't go and register the songs. They think they can just throw it up on YouTube and it's a sensation. That's not how it works. And most of the time, other people end up making more money off of the artist than the artist actually ends up making, because they're not educated. So I would say education is probably the biggest part of becoming a new artist.
PR, who and what do you look into when you get your artist? Like, what are you looking for within the music? Like, what talent do they have to have or already, bring to the table in order for you to represent them?
I'm looking for content. That's number one. I'm looking for a message, because even if a lot of these Southside artists, talking about certain things, if there's a message, there's something I can pull out of it, if there's a feeling that I get, if there's a passion that I get when I'm listening to it, then that's one thing. They gotta know how to rap. I can't work with nobody that can't. You have to be able to write a hook at least. You got to, because again, when I'm pushing these artists, the first thing I'm doing is if I try to pitch you to a Sway in the Morning and you can't rap, what does that say about me? I literally thought it was okay to send that to Sway in the Morning. I can't do that. So you have to know how to rap if you're going to work with me. And you have to know how to make good music and at least make a okay song. If you got something I can work with and you have a message with it and you got some good production, we can start there, because at that level, I can at least tell you, hey, you need to improve on your production. Do you have another song with a better hook? Things like that. So sometimes I end up doing more than PR, because I'm trying to tell people different things that might help them with their music.
What's the word? 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 I'm stepping now. What's the word? 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 Hey, what y'all tell me? See, I don't practice, but still my pen.